Good morning, YouTubers. Mopar Man here. Today's video is going to be all about low budget DIY, basically do it yourself, little to no money, at home projects you can do to improve your issues with if you ever have to remove or install a transmission, but you don't have a lot of money to go buy a special transmission. Floor jack, whatnot. If you're working out in the dirt like I do, dirt and rocks, this will help you out as well. We're going to be using this Pittsburgh brand floor jack today as a donor. If need be, I will be buying another one at some point out of 2 or 3 paychecks from Harbor Freight. The only downside to this is this saddle or pedestal, whatever you want to call it, has this oddball fastener in there where it's pretty flat underneath, and this all screws in instead of having just a solid, what I call the stud or stump that slides down in the bottom, and then you either lock it into place or it just stays in there because it's thick enough and long enough that the saddle won't tip over when jacking this up against a vehicle or whatnot. Anyway, I'm going to be grinding the sides here where the pedestal comes up higher than the other sections. Grinding here and here. I'm going to be grinding on the side, a little bit on the top, and then on this edge here I'm going to bevel it in a little bit. And then I got the 3/16 thick steel plating, pig iron, whatever you want to call it, kind of like on that movie The Gauntlet. Anyway, I've already mapped out where the center is, and then I didn't have a compass on me, so took a measurement, lined this up precisely, and used a regular 4.5 inch cutoff wheel. And then what I'll do is get underneath there on my side and look where do these high spots are touching on the metal plate, and then I'll grind those areas on the metal plate down to bare metal. And it's going to actually be like this instead of like this. It'll be like this to help support so the transmission doesn't want to teeter-totter off of there. And it's wide enough. I made it wide enough that it'll fit smooth across the pan, and it won't tilt backwards and fall off or forward. This is a 12-inch by 17-inch piece of plating. Cost me about 43 bucks with tax, and them cutting this out off of a real long strip they had. They didn't have any scrap, otherwise I could have got it a little cheaper. The scraps are either too thick, too narrow, or too short, whatever. Anyway, so let's get started. I'll get the bottom marked and I'll start grinding on that, and we'll be right back. Alright, so I got the sides of the pedestal ground down, and the top, a little bit on the top, but on those, especially on them edges, as you can see, I got the spots marked and ground where they're going to be welded on the plate. So now I just have to line it up. Alright, well, she isn't pretty, but I got the welds on there, and they're thick and they're anchored, and it's on there. So there we be. So I'll go with the floor jack into position. I already got the transmission held up down underneath there with the come along strap, as you can see, on the front and in the back on the tail. And we'll go from there. The other cool thing is to get it into narrow spaces before you let it down, you can pivot this to have it go lengthways and set it down. So there it be. Okay, so here is the end results. It's got plenty of room to move around on the plate. Plate, once you lift it up, can pivot, as you can see. Yeah, so the transmission will move and the plate moves. See, once you get it up, and you can tell it's not even close to being up all the way. So, yeah, another problem, headache fixed. Until next time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more. And maybe at some point I can get this transmission in. Later.